Hey, what's going on, everybody? MysterySchooler here. We are back. Another live presentation. This is more of a restream, but we're just chilling, doing an open chat today. How are you all today? Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna get some music going, some slides going. Sit back, relax, enjoy the chat. Come chill. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. How's everyone today? Hey, welcome, Karen Lynn. How are you doing today? Yeah, they find giant skeletons like this, but it usually gets contributed to being some kind of a hoax. But if you dig a little deeper, usually those stories are actually pretty legit. And later, the Smithsonian or someone comes through and says, "Oh, it was a fraud. It was a hoax." But yeah, they do find big skeletons. So. Yeah, Karen, I'm sure the women also grew that tall. I'm sure it wasn't just the men. I mean, the plants were big, the animals were big, according to the mainstream narrative, right? A Liger Karen. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. Uh huh. Yeah, Liger. Yeah, it's interesting. They tell us, it's evolution, all this stuff, but you put the same animal from the same species in a different environment, and they grow up differently. So, like a hog and a pig, for example. Yeah, if you guys are wondering what that image is in the top left corner, that little imp thing, that's the image that guy was looking at in the first slide inside the giant book. That's what the page he was looking at was that little demon thing. I thought that was interesting. Of all the pages they could show us from that old book, right? That giant old book, they showed us this, huh? They trying to tell us something? I don't know. Karen Lynn says, "Do they lose the ability to reproduce if they cross species?" Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. All right, we got Isabella Live 2.0. What's up, buddy? How you doing today? Yeah, normally I just go live for half an hour and cut it, but so many people were showing up. I thought, I'd go live, have a little after party here. I know you guys have seen all this before, but I thought we'd hang out, have some fun. How are you all today? Yeah, like, you put a pig in a farm, right? A baby pig in a farm, you raise it there. It looks like a regular pig, pink, kind of hairy a little bit. You put a pig and leave it in the wild, it becomes a freaking boar. It's a fucking gigantic ass strong monster thing. And isn't it really the same with humans? I mean, just look at a modern human next to I don't know, Tarzan, for example, right? Or George of the Jungle. Tarzan could fight a fucking cheetah, right? It's because he's been living in the wild, swinging from branches and shit all day. He's strong. He's more like an animal. It's different. It's your environment. It's more your environment, if you ask me. But yeah, that's an interesting topic, though. We touched on it a little bit in the last video, how the blood groups don't match either. Like, they tell us we all come from the same species, humans, but then, someone else's blood will literally kill me. I'm AB negative. Positive blood will just kill me. I'll just die. So the same blood that courses through people's veins will just kill me or whatever, but we're supposed to come from the same species? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah, happy to be back, buddy. You guys are the best. Hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it. Just look how big these books are, huh? They tell us that these books are gimmicks. That these books are just like these gimmicks, and they just made them big because they could for fun back then. You know what I mean? Ha! Yay! But in reality, I think, we just went over the architecture in that last library. I just showed you how massive it was, everything. And then there's these giant, massive books on the shelves. And then all the myths and legends and biblical stuff is all about, you know, giant people being around, and I don't know. The the archaeology, the architecture is giant. The books are giant. The legends are of giant people. But then it's like, nah, it's a myth. It's like, okie dokie. Michael Kahn is a human version of a boar Harry. You know, Michael, I had a feeling you were one hairy motherfucker. I don't know why, bro. Oh, I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks. Oh yeah, like Tarzan. Resistance causes you to grow stronger. Yeah, isn't it true? What's the expression? Suffering builds character. Yes, the Book of Giants, yeah. Max Vision Remote Viewing Class says, in the Book of Giants, the Moonchild was the last breeding giant woman. She got killed accidentally, as most of the rest, I think they were much smaller or fragile. Oh, okay, I see. Mm-hmm. Maybe she got trampled or something by accident, huh? Wow, that's a trip, though. It kind of reminds me of Norse mythology, when Odin and his brothers killed Ymir, the first being, and from Ymir's body, the blood and everything came the oceans and the earth. The earth was formed from his body. Yeah, Odin and the rest of the Asgardians were basically bored because there was basically nothing in the void except them and like heat and cold and stuff like that. So they like basically out of boredom they killed Ymir so they could create the earth out of his body. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So when people say things like the petrified titan theory is completely unfounded and, you know, it's just nonsense, it's not the case, man. There's actually lots of mythology or lore or legend, whatever you want to call it, that's consistent with it. So yeah, according to Norse mythology, we live on giant petrified remains. Oh yeah, Isabel Live 2.0 says, no, these are King Og's books from the King's Library. Yeah, exactly, bro. We just were you here? I just had a slide. up here. I'm gonna go back. Hold on a second, guys. See, check that out. See, the 12 foot to 18 foot, guys. It says in this graph. I don't know. I didn't make this graph or chart, whatever. It says the 12 foot to 18 foot ones giants are Og of Bashan, Goliath scale, and that's what you just said, right, Morgan? Og? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that on the bottom. Hold on a second, the comment's blocking it. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see on the... Oh, now my thing's blocking it. Okay. There. Can you guys see that in the bottom left corner? 12 foot to 18 foot scale, Og of Bashan, Goliath scale. 24 foot to 36 foot, early Canaanite giant scale. See, Amos 2:9. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, I didn't make this chart, but I thought it was cool. All right, we got Parkway in the house. What's up, brother? 2 flat thumbs to you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Parkway says, I'm sub-giant, but find bear prints that dwarf mine. Huh. Oh, bear prints. Oh, no. What have you been walking, man? Watch out. Parkway special guest. Always welcome. What's up, buddy? Michael Kahn. Isabella 2.0. We got Max Vision. All right. We got Karen Lynn in the house. Uh-oh. Okay. Ymir Tiamat. The story is the giant is the same a giant dead creature. Oh, okay. Yeah, Max, you know, I know I'm a broken record on this channel, but when you start to understand many mythologies or know many mythological stories, you start to connect the dots and realize that, gosh, this is the same darn story, just told in a different tongue. You know? Like Atlantis, for example, the flood myth, for example, the giants, for example. These are all recurring themes in worldwide mythology. Well, the mainstream narrative tells us these cultures are separated by the sea and that they weren't connected for many years, but then how is the mythology so similar? Are the legends in fact true that Atlantis was one civilization or one government or whatever you want to call it? One idea, one society? I don't know. Oh, Max Karen Lynn wants to know if you're going live later. Putting you on the spot, buddy. We want to know. We want answers, Max. You can't hide from us anymore. Oh, yes, he's going live at the same time. Okay. All right. Everybody definitely check out Max Vision Remote Viewing Class. Great channel. The 36 guy is the huge stones at Lebanon. Oh, no way. You mean that's like his petrified form is those stones at Lebanon? That's a trip, dude. Wow. Yeah, I used to not buy that petrified titan stuff so much, or I knew about it, but I thought, okay, maybe possibly it's kind of interesting. I don't know, but the more I study, the more I'm like, man, we very well could be on the remains of petrified titans. Like, they're like all around us. Something happened. Pretty sure it's the Kali Yuga or whatever it's called, that cataclysm they talk about. I think that took us out. Yeah, here's some of the Abrahamic religion giants. We've got Anakim of the Old Testament, Giborim. We got Goliath, Book of Samuel. All right, we got the real Tig Tig in the house. What's up, Tig Tig? Welcome. I was checking out your channel there for a bit. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure, real Tig Tig. Thanks for being here. Check out Real Tig Tig's channel, everybody. Yeah, I agree, Morgan or Isabella Live 2.0. Atlantis, it is us, and it's prophesied that the new Atlantis comes right to the surface to begin a new golden age. This is the prophecy of Shambhala is pretty consistent with this as well. Uh-oh. Hairy giants in the house. I think he was talking about bears earlier. Oh, there's Og in the Book of Numbers. The Rephaid. You guys ever heard of this one? Zamzumans. Zamzumans in the Old Testament. Never heard of that giant. Anybody? Oh yeah, and Bigfoot. Yeah, don't forget Bigfoot. I mean, he's a giant, right? You guys ever hear of Harry Mary? There's many depictions of the Virgin Mary, or whatever you want to call her, as Bigfoot. As strange as it sounds, with hair, her whole body covered in hair, like long hair, just like a Bigfoot. And when she like rustles the fur, like she can make it like a little scarf, almost looking like thing. And it looks like the robes, the picture of the Virgin Mary you see now in the robes. Yeah, there's actually a lot of depictions of Harry Mary. It's interesting. The channel I first heard about it was called Mind Unveiled. Yeah, I like that channel. Check out Mind Unveiled if you've never heard of them. Yeah, you want to learn more about Harry Mary. I'm going to probably do a video on Harry Mary because it's a fascinating subject. It's a whole different take on Bigfoot, because a lot of people think Bigfoot's intelligent, like really intelligent, like more than us even. And I think that might actually be the case. Not this barbaric thing that runs around in the woods naked or whatever. Yeah, we got Joshua 12:4. And the coast of Og, king of Bashan, which was of the remnant of the giants that dwelt at Ashtaroth and at Edrei. So yeah, if you're Christian or whatever, or even Jewish, then you really should, I don't want to say believe, but you should probably believe in giants because it's all over your religion, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. This gets listed as conspiracy theory nutso stuff, but it's like, bro, you can't throw a stone without hearing about a legend of a giant. It's everywhere. It's just like the flood myth. Well, I'm glad to hear the channel's doing good, Tig Tig. I'm pretty sure I connected with you, Tig Tig, through was it AAP channel? But I gotta check to make sure I'm still subbed to you because there's the purges that happen when we connect through those channels. Because come to think of it, I haven't seen anything from your channel in a while, so I'll make sure I'm connected with you after I'm done with this. Michael Kahn says, Harry Mary, is she married? Yeah. All right, we got 8 people watching. What's up, everybody? Hit that like button for me. I really appreciate it. Oh, Real Tig Tig says, not AEP. Don't speak with them now. Oh, okay. It must have been somewhere else, Real Tig Tig, some other networking channel I met you through. But welcome. Appreciate you. I haven't been on AAP in a while myself. Oh, wow. You're saying they had 80-year-old fathers? That's interesting. Well, if they live to be 300, I guess that's not that old, right? How old did Adam live to be? Book of Genesis? Like 600 or something crazy like that? And yeah, giants are myths, and it's all just fantasy. Meanwhile, back in reality, the Norimitsu Odachi is a huge sword from Japan. It was said to have been wielded by a giant. Apart from the basic knowledge of it having been forged in the 15th century AD, measuring 12.5 feet in length and weighing as much as 31 pounds, that seems light, okay. The blade is a mystery. So what do you guys think? Someone back in the day was like, hey, I know it's hard to weld steel and to do all these things during this time period, but I think I'll just make a fucking 12-foot sword, 12-foot, 40-pound sword or whatever. Yeah, just because, it's fun. And people will troll a bunch of people, right? Yeah, I agree with Max. Max says found in the 15th century. I think that's a very much more accurate, bro. That thing was laying around. This is an old world sword. That was a giant sword. I think 100% a person wielded that sword. Like a Goliath-sized person or something. Even bigger, maybe. I mean, that's a... Good lord. If you're able to actually use that size of weapon, you're going to be giant. Yeah, Michael Kahn, you said it, bro. Like almost everybody says they miss my notifications, and it's funny because I was putting the notifications for my live stream up like a day and a half in advance and stuff to give people enough time, and no, it didn't even do anything. Like nobody got my notifications, even though I gave it a day and a half. Isabella Live 2.0 says the men looked like grasshoppers to them, and it was these giants' men's fathers. We are talking like 5 brothers here, are the sons of Anakim. Oh, this sounds familiar. Sons of Anakim. I've heard that somewhere before. Okay. This is Bible. This is Bible stuff, right? New Testament stuff, right? Yeah, found in the 15th century. 100%, bro. 100%. Methuselah lived the longest, and when he died, the flood came. Oh, okay. Do you think the two events coincided? Like his death brought on the flood somehow, or? Oh, welcome. Yeah, Karen Lynn says, pretty sure it wasn't a decoration. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they try to pass on the dumbest crap in the mainstream narrative for things like this, for relics like this. I mean, it just goes on and on. The Vatican's another example. They have things on display in the Vatican that it's like, huh? Completely defy the mainstream narrative. It shouldn't exist at all, but there they are in everybody's face, and they're like, oh, it's a cup. Yeah, it's a cup. Oh, okie dokie. It's a crazy shit. Technology and stuff laying around. It's nuts. Antique technology. Yeah, Max Vision brings up a good point. I didn't even think about that. How would you even forge that sucker, right? I mean, I understand they were skilled, in the East, they're very skilled with things, making katana and things like that. It's like a religious discipline to them. I understand they're some of the best in the world, but even still, according to the mainstream narrative, right? See, all this stuff makes sense if you're going off of biblical cosmology or off of, mythology or legend or history or religious text, whatever you want to call them, okay? If you go off of that stuff, all these relics and these things they have that defy the mainstream narrative, they all make sense. It's only the mainstream narrative that makes all this stuff not make sense. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, according to the mainstream narrative, this giant ass sword shouldn't be here. But, according to everything else, it should be, right? The New Testament's not even that long ago, really, right? So, I think the giants very well could have been around. Yeah, Isabella Life 2.0 says, the man who wielded the sword was as tall as the sword. Yeah, good point. Prophecy and biblical names. Wow, what do you guys think of the Norimitsu Odachi? It reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, the villain Sephiroth. Up next, we got Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. When I read this, I read like, okay, so these Greek, I think the Greek gods may have very well been these Nephilim, possibly. Some of these Greek deities, or whatever you want to call them. Specifically the ones that demand blood and things like that. Because you got to think about what deity wants you to give it blood, right? I mean, it's probably not a good one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no way. Okay, so Michael Kahn says Methuselah means, so the etymology behind Methuselah means his death shall bring. Interesting, and that's when the flood started. Well, that's cool. So they have that stuff coded into the Bible, kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of gematria almost, but it's just etymology of the names. Well, that's interesting. Parkway says some rangers were killed in Rocky Mount Parkway about 4 months ago. Word is Afghan type confirmed by World Bigfoot Radio. Giants are coming out of the earth. Wow, that's crazy. That's prophesied, bro. That shit is prophesied to happen. Wow, you think it's happening now? I mean, I made a video a few weeks ago called, what on earth is going on, or something like that, or what's happening. I covered the Georgia Guidestones of the Vatican fires, but it sure seems like something's going on. Something big is going on behind the scenes, and they're not telling us. Wow. And that would be interesting. The giants are coming out of the earth, the Fomerians are returning, huh? Yeah, the massive ones are the Titans. Yeah. Do you guys ever get the feeling that the Greek pantheon are the bad guys in reality and the Titans were the good guys? Because I like the story, and I can see why the Greeks pantheon would be mad at the Titans, because their dad ate them or whatever. But I don't know. I've examined the story quite a bit. I do sympathize with the Titans. I really do. Wow, you're on point today, Morgan. You're on a roll, buddy. The flood came because men, women, and children were being sold openly in market and there was non-holds barred on any scientific creation experiment, with angel offspring helping his wife. Wow. Max Vision says the biblical height of 3,000 Eli's is 2.666 miles high. 666, how interesting. Oh, L's. 3,000 L's. I've heard of that. Is that the length of a man's arm or something like that? Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a cubit or something like that. Adam was like hundreds of cubits tall or something crazy like that. I'm not the best with this stuff, but yeah, giant as fuck. Yeah, and it really makes sense. Max Vision brings up a great point. Definitely check out Max Vision remote viewing class, by the way, guys, if you aren't subscribed. Think about it. Adam was 60 feet tall, and then someone hybridized with you, and boom, monsters. Yeah, I think it's like the seed of the Nephilim, or the seed of the Watchers from above, didn't mix with the women below, and like they thought it was gonna mix. They got some crazy demon offspring or something crazy, the Nephilim. An L is a little bigger than a meter. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, Michael Kahn says the flood came because the giants were eating everyone and mixing kinds. Yeah, that's what it says. That's what it says, right? To purge that bloodline or whatever. The people of Gomorrah, right? Sodom and Gomorrah, something like that. All right, we got Salted Cedar in the house. Welcome, brother. How are you doing today? Everybody, definitely check out Salted Cedar's channel. A guy in our community found a huge six-finger hand in rock. He has it in his house. Let me think of the channel name. Wow, that's cool, Salted Cedar. You know, there are other examples of rapid fossilization out there too. I know there's a cowboy boot on display somewhere, and it has a human foot petrified inside of it from the cowboy days, the Western times, the 1800s. Now, I thought fossilization took millions of years. It can happen over such a small amount of time. And yeah, this six-fingered hand in rock would definitely coincide with that, in my opinion. Karen Lynn says, sorry guys, the genetics have been played with for so long. Yeah, this is in the Bible as well, isn't it? That they'll mess with the genetics. That they're going to mess with the genes of man. All right, we got the Brythonic mythology, Welsh mythology, and Cornish mythology giants. We got Silri, Idris, Cormoran, Cornwall, and Gog and Magog. And that's them in the bottom right corner over there, helping someone get out of the mud. Oh, all right, you out of here, Michael Kahn. Take care, buddy. I really appreciate you, man. Have a good day, okay? Yeah, Max, that must have been crazy, right? Because that's definitely not a natural birth the Lord was intending for them to have. So, what kind of strange effects on their anatomy did it have even giving birth to these things? Probably killed a bunch of them. That's crazy, huh? Yeah, it's good to see you too, Salty Cedar. Welcome, man. Yeah, I agree, Isabella 2.0. Nature is more simple than we make it out to be. And God is too, it's simple, absolute law, like natural law. And same with science and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I agree that there was definitely some kind of cataclysm involving heat or something like that, Max, for sure. And that coincides with the Kali Yuga's depiction of the last cataclysm, the one that separated the above world and the below world. Fascinating stuff. And Helena Blavatsky or whatever talks about the comet cataclysm too. That coincides with that. Up next, we got the Fomerians. They're a supernatural race in Irish mythology. They're often portrayed as hostile and monstrous beings who come from under the sea or the earth. Later, they were portrayed as giants and sea raiders. They are enemies of Ireland's first settlers and opponents of the Tuatha De Danann, the other supernatural race in Irish mythology. However, their relationship with the Tuatha is complex. Some of their members intermarry and have children. The Fomerians have thus been linked to the Jotnar of Norse mythology and the elder gods of Greco-Roman mythology. Keynote here, keywords here, they were portrayed as giants. We got another race here portrayed as giants. Yeah, here's another massive sword, guys. What do you think? Good lord, dude. Maybe if you're 12 feet tall or something. Yeah, druids. Yeah, possibly from the Church of Iessa, ancient Church of Iessa, Celtic druids. Yeah, they have an interesting history. That their language, Ojim, is one of the most persecuted languages in history. Uh, they put you to death even if they even thought you knew how to speak it. So I think there might be some significance there. The Druidic language of Ojim. Yeah, each letter is affiliated with the tree, the tree. Yeah, and Max, how tall would you say you'd have to be to actually effectively wield a sword that tall, right? That big. To effectively wield that sword, you'd have to be at least, what, 13, 14 feet tall? Look at his hand on the handle, guys. All right, welcome, Chuck. How's it going, man? Thanks for being here. Chuck says, wasn't Goliath and the Philistine giants like 10 to 12 feet tall, if I remember? I think that's correct. I'm not that good with the Bible, but I'm sure Max Vision here will know all about it. But yeah, they're tall. So they got these giant swords laying around all over the world, and the legends and myths seem to suggest there were giants as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put two and two together and say that you know these are their swords, these are their weapons, these are the relics, old world relics laying around, right? How you do it with 300 unarmed men and win? Yeah. Wow. You think that's what the 300 story is really about? Hey, we're glad to have you, man. Yeah, if you like obscure topics, you're definitely in the right place. Max says, "Oh yeah, you would have to be double our size, maybe in between, because there is an exponential increase in strength." Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, to be able to hold it properly is one thing. Be able to use it like strength-wise effectively, yeah, they'd have to be giant, right? Wow. Wow. Here's a newspaper article from the Arizona Gazette. Gazette. Uh, early 1900s. Uh, yeah, I know it's too hard to see. I'm just going to tell you the story. I'm going to paraphrase it. It's pretty short, but they found a whole bunch of tall mummies, 12-foot tall, even taller mummies with red hair in the Arizona, in the Grand Canyon, in the deserts.